Good afternoon, YouTubers, and a huge welcome to my channel. I'm Gary Morris, and I'm the Wandering Bodhisattva. Well, here we go then. I thought I'd make a short video introducing myself and the channel to all the viewers. Some of you may be thinking or wondering why the title Bodhisattva or the Wandering Bodhisattva. Well, it may be self-evident to some of you, but I'm a practicing Nichiren Buddhist and have been for the last 17 years. My main aim in producing this channel is to hopefully convey to the viewers, your good selves, basically my journey through my Buddhist practice, and how by using the practice in a practical manner it's enabled me to transform my life on a very fundamental level, a life blighted by fundamental darkness, extreme negativity, lack of commitment to myself and others, so many, challenges in my life that I just didn't feel I could overcome. And I basically wandered aimlessly through life, from one train wreck to the next one. And my life was basically immersed in the world of anger, which manifested itself as violence towards other men in particular. I was very lucky that I was born with the aptitude to be able to fight, and it's a good job really, because if it hadn't have been like that, life could have been very, very different. Up until the age of approximately 40 years of age, like I said, life was really miserable. I had no hope. I had no real desire to become happy or fulfilled, mainly because I didn't think I had the choice. I studied many different forms and schools of Buddhism, from Theravada, Zen, Hinayana, Mahayana, etc. And one day, as my search continued for the ideal practice for me, and for my life and what I hope to achieve, I was very fortunate as I ambled into a cafe one day. There was a magazine on a table, and I picked it up, and it was a Buddhist magazine, and it was The Art of Living, which is a Buddhist magazine that's produced by the Soka Gakkai International, UK, which is based in Taplow, near Maidenhead. That's where the main centre is. Anyway, I picked this magazine up, sat down, started studying it, and I saw written in there the words Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And I thought, blimey, this really resonated with me. So anyway, I quickly got on the telephone, made a quick call to Taplow Court, and I spoke to this wonderful woman, and I said to her, can I recite this Nam Myoho Renge Kyo? And she said, I'm sure you can. So anyway, that was the start of my journey of self-reformation, if you want to call it. We call it human revolution, where we transform our lives and our views and how we react to the environment. Previous to the practice, my life was basically at the mercy of my environment. And I went from, one negative situation to the next, usually resorting to violence or anger to overcome these things. And it was a very, very miserable time. But since practicing the Buddhism of Nichiren Daishonin, alongside other members of SGI UK, I have steadily, over the years, improved my life, like I say, on a very fundamental level, and I've started to become a lot happier, a lot more fulfilled. I've found a passion for wildlife photography, which keeps me very busy, and yes, I'm a happy bunny. I've still got a lot to achieve and to overcome. There are many challenges in my life that need to be dealt with yet. One of them is my severe lack of commitment at times to things, whether it be family, relationships, career, all sorts of things. But it's ongoing, nothing's transformed overnight, it takes time. And I think by this October I will have been practicing for 17 years. And when I look back, I cannot believe, honestly, I cannot believe the difference in me. People I haven't seen for years come up to me and they say, "Gary, what are you doing? You're totally different." And I explained to them, that I was very fortunate to encounter the practice and to grab it by the horn, so to speak, and really make a difference in my life and no longer be at the mercy of my environment. A lot of people that I encounter say to me, "Oh, you're the most unlikely Buddhist I've ever met." And they say, "You haven't got a shaven head and you don't wear robes and you're not stuck in a temple." Well, believe me, prior to finding the practice, I did think long and hard about booking myself into a temple, making a journey to India, and hopefully becoming enlightened and then travelling back to the UK and help others, who was in similar circumstances to myself. But, like I said, fortunately, I found the SGI and the Buddhism of Nichiren Daishonin. I'd just like to read this quote from a wonderful book written by a lady called Pat Allwright, who is herself is a practicing Nichiren Buddhist. And here it goes, quote, "People may have the impression that Buddhists observe many rules of behaviour or practice only in monasteries. However, Nichiren Daishonin clarified that Buddhism is life itself. It is not necessary to seclude oneself, give up eating meat, wear robes or shave our heads. These were all practices adopted in much earlier times and in different countries. They were largely of practicality. In fact, Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, there are no rules of behaviour. Society has developed to the point where codes of behaviour are built into the system of justice. Buddhism is founded on the utmost respect for life. Given this, we decide for ourselves what is the best course of action, based on our own innate wisdom, which arrives and develops through practice. Deep down, what really matters is that we feel connected to ourselves, connected to others, and connected to the universe. And that's wonderful. And that's from the Basics of Buddhism by Pat Allwright on page 9. I will put a link below to the SGI's website, and there are many different publications and books where you can learn yourself about the practice, very, very accessible to ordinary people. We don't need to dress up in fancy clothes and hide in monasteries and live off alms from others. Buddhism I practice is a very practical thing. We do it out in society. We do it at our work, our place of work. We do it with our friends, our family. It's amazing. The main core of my practice, you could say, is the chanting of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which is the title or Daimoku of the Lotus Sutra. And also, morning and evening, we all have a service which we call morning Gongyo and evening Gongyo. And in doing morning Gongyo and evening Gongyo, we recite 2 passages from the Lotus Sutra, namely the Expedient Means chapter and excerpts from the Lifespan chapter. And like I said, we chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, usually for, it's up to the individual, but we're encouraged initially when we first start to chant for 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, study the writings of Nichiren Daishonin, and share this wonderful practice with others and teach others to the very best of our ability. For this channel, for me, is to hopefully convey to others through the medium of videography just what is achievable through this practice, and also to share my experiences and my journey, and to hopefully inspire others and instill fresh hope in people, because I meet so many people that struggle with life. They feel they have no purpose, in this present environment that we're experiencing at the moment with COVID and all the other stuff, war on terror, etc., etc. It's very easy to allow ourselves to be dragged down by all the negative comments in the newspapers, mainstream media, blah de blah de blah. But through chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, we are able, over a period of time, to see the enlightened aspect of the problems that blight our lives and society. And we learn over a period of time that any situation, no matter how terrible it may seem and how difficult it may seem, we can transform it. We can transform it into the energy that is needed for value creation. And it's not long, if you practice strongly, that you soon come to realise that everything is a benefit. It's only due to our hearts and minds, how we perceive life, that determines whether something is, terrible or whether it's beneficial or whatever. And through the practice we're able to quickly spot the enlightened aspect of the challenges that we encounter and the difficulties that we have to overcome. And after a while you realise that, like Nichiren said, suffer what there is to suffer and enjoy what there is to enjoy, and chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo no matter what. And it's wonderful. Once we sit in front of our Gohonzon, which is a scroll that it depicts the enlightened aspect of the Buddha, the enlightened aspect of the Buddha, we quickly see, because it's like a mirror of our own lives, and we are quickly able to see, clearly what really is going on, and not be pulled down by the negative functions. And there's so much I could share with you all. But anyway, what is the purpose for this channel? Like I said, it's to share the teaching with you, share my experiences, instill hope and impart courage into the lives of others, those who feel, they cannot take on these difficulties in life and they shrink back. But I've learned that the magic happens outside of the box. And I've learnt over the years, the hard way at times, that it's only through facing challenges that we can become fundamentally happy. And I don't mean relative happiness, which is dependent on things outside of our lives, like, I'll be happy when I get a new car or a new girlfriend or whatever, new Rolex watch. I tried all that for years. And it's very shallow, and it has no real bearing on life itself. Like I said earlier on, the only way we can achieve true happiness is to embrace the challenges of life, embrace the difficulties, overcome them, and transform them into benefit for our lives and for the lives of others, for society, etc. Anyway, I hope this little introduction has been of some help to you. If you think that this is something that might interest you in the future, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to click that little bell and you'll get notified when I release a new video. I aim to produce one video a week, and it will mainly consist of hopefully opening up this wonderful teaching in a very simplistic way, which is available to everyone. Chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo doesn't mean I have to lock myself up in a temple, shave my head, wear robes, and give up meat and all this palaver. It's up to the individual. We're all creators of our own woes, our own joys. And like I was told very early on in my practice, the heart truly is a skilled painter. And whatever's going on in the depths of our lives usually manifests into the way we experience reality. So it stands to reason. The more we work on ourselves, the better our reality becomes. is simple. There's a term in Buddhism which is Esho Funi, which is the oneness of self and environment. And usually when we look at our lives, the environment acts as a clear mirror, really, and shows just what the inner workings are of our own hearts and minds. So if we work on that, that human revolution, that inner reformation, it is reflected directly by our environment, and life takes on a whole different meaning. It's wonderful. And it's win-win-win, because like I said earlier on, everybody benefits from the practice. My friends, family members, society, because a profound change in the depths of, the life of one individual can transform the entire environment. It's amazing. Anyway, I think we'll call it a draw for now. And hopefully, like I said, I aim to produce one video a week, and based broadly around the teachings and my experience of the practice. And I can share with you how this journey has been, how arduous it's been at times, and the difficulties usually arise when I'm not in a very good life state, and so I tend to view things then in a more negative manner. But I get myself sat in front of the Gohonzon when I chant with my entire being to see the enlightened aspect of all the difficulties that we face. So anyway, I'll bring this video to an end now, and hopefully, like I said, it may be of interest to some of you, and if it is, come along for the ride. Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo. Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo. Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo, Nam-myo renge kyo.